to advise those present at this meeting of the Board of Education of the Pinelands Regional School District in the County of Ocean that adequate notice of this meeting was provided in accordance with the Open Public Meeting Act. The notice has been posted in the Board of Education office, junior high school, and high school buildings. The notice was also sent to the press of Atlantic City, Asbury Park Press, and filed with the municipal clerks of Bass River Township, Eagleswood Township, Little Egg Harbor Township, and the Borough of Tuckerton. May I have a roll call, please?
Sure. Miss Betty?
Here.
Mr. Bonnicky?
Here.
Miss Johnson? She'll be marked absent. Miss Crystal Martin?
Here.
Miss Patty Martin?
Here.
Mrs. McVeigh?
Here.
Mr. Vaux?
Here.
Mr. Dalio?
Here.
Mr. Hewitt?
Here.
Ms. Linchek? Here. We are in session.
All right, we'll start with item number 3, approval of minutes. Recommended motion to approve the following minutes. September 15th, regular and executive. May I have a motion?
Motion.
May I have a second?
Second.
Are there any questions? Seeing that there are no questions, we'll go to a roll call vote.
Miss Betty?
Yes.
Mr. Bonnicky?
Abstain.
Noted. Miss Crystal Martin?
Yes.
Miss Patty Martin?
Yes.
Mrs. McVeigh?
Yes.
Mr. Vaux?
Yes.
Mr. Dalio?
Yes.
Mr. Hewitt?
Yes.
Motion carries.
We'll move on to item number 4, student representative report. We will start with our junior high school representative, Amelia Busby. Come on up. And please introduce your colleague.
Good evening. I'm Amelia Busby, 8th grade class president of Pinelands Regional Junior High School.
And I'm Elena Irvin, Vice President.
We've had a great start to our school year, and I'm proud to share with you some highlights from this past month, along with some upcoming events we are looking forward to.
On September 19th, we held our fall pep rally to kick off the year with some excitement and school spirit. Students participated in Spirit Week leading up to the event, which had everyone excited to come to school every day. The green and gold gear in support of our school and the amazing performances from all of our fall sports did not disappoint. Kids not involved in sports this season were also able to engage in the pep rally by volunteering for one of the many games held throughout the event. We had a very successful day and cannot wait for our next pep rally.
This school year has been a new beginning for many groups and organizations here at the junior high. One of our most prominent and successful ones has been our WCIT news team. Mr. Shore and Ms. Henderson take the time to inform all of our students on upcoming events, club meetings, sports practices, and more every morning on a video recording. They also invite one student to appear alongside them every week to help keep our school filled in and bring some excitement and student participation into the group. This gives a positive start to the students and staff members' days and encourages them to come into school with a good mindset and ready to learn.
On topic of the student participation, we have just wrapped up our fall fundraiser, and I am pleased to announce our success with it, having raised more money than last year. All this money goes towards the 7th and 8th grade classes to benefit them throughout the school year. Students sold many baked goods and other desserts and rewarded with insensitive prizes for supporting their school community. Thank you all for participating for making this possible.
This year, the Student Government Association held a closed election for our class officers in both 7th and 8th grade. All of our students worked very hard and will serve in the association to better our school and community all school year. SBYS held their annual Role Model Breakfast on October 9th this year. They had very successful turnout with about 40 attendants. This event is a fun way to show your thankfulness and appreciation to the people you look up to in life.
Next, the junior high held our first dance of the year, the Fall Dance, on October 17th. Approximately 170 students in good standing attended this event to show our support and had a blast.
This past month has been an extremely successful and exciting start to the school year. Along with the events just covered, we have had some amazing action from our extracurriculars. Our sports teams have had some great showings so far, and we cannot wait to see what the near future has to hold for them. After-school clubs and activities have just begun to kick off as well, and we have seen some amazing participation from both new and returning students so far. With all of this comes much excitement for upcoming events.
We are looking forward to our Veterans Luncheon in November, which is run by the National Junior Honor Society and shows support for the veterans in the community who have served for our country. This is sure to be filled with care, appreciation, and fun.
Thank you for allowing us to come up and share about the happenings at Pinelands Junior High this past month. We've had a great year so far, and I truly cannot wait to see what the rest of the school year has to offer.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing. We appreciate that update. All right, we'll go to our high school representative, Ashley Slinchak.
Hi, I'm Ashley. I'm the Vice President of the Class of 2026. I'm president today because our usual representative, sorry, there was a spider on my paper, Katie is involved in her senior night for the girls soccer team. After the board meeting, feel free to stop by and support her and the rest of the team. It would mean so much to her. For the first time in school history, our football team beat Lacey. The team will move on to play Toms River East at our homecoming game for the division championship. Volleyball won A South championships, moving on as the #1 seed in the postseason. Last week, homecoming tickets were sold and the court was announced on Friday. The crowning of the queen happens at the homecoming game during halftime. The king will be announced at homecoming dance on Saturday. The class of 2026 is still looking for donations for the homecoming dance. The link can be found on the Cat Eye. Donations need to be received by the 23rd. 2 new clubs were formed, the Humanities Club and the Medical Club, both of which garnered significant interest. The Medical Club is teaming up with the Boy Scouts and the SOCH, Southern Ocean County Hospital, to offer hands-on training at the hospital once a month. The Harvest Dance, run by SONJ, will take place on the 30th of October. Candy, snacks, a small pumpkin donations are still needed. These can be dropped off in the high school main office or the attendance office. Anybody can attend. The SONJ will also hold the 2nd annual Turkey Trot on November 15th from 10 to 12 on the high school track. Everyone in the community is invited. And finally, last week, the SBYS sponsored Challenge Day, which helps teens and adults to increase self-esteem and encourage acceptance. Some of our students were chaperones for the middle school Pinelands experience, which allowed them to display their leadership skills and set an example for the younger classes. Thank you.
Thank you, Ashley. All right, we'll move on to the superintendent's report. Dr. McCooley.
Thank you. Ms. Miller and Mr. Tallarico in transportation have been meeting with representatives from Durham and from the Little Egg Harbor School District, and I just have a little update to give. We are aware of the transportation changes that Little Egg Harbor has presented and are in the midst of making. Because of how closely Pinelands and all of our sending districts are tied together with transportation, we will be monitoring this and hope to continue to work with Little Egg Harbor School District as they mitigate through these changes. We have made clear our concerns to them, mainly that a continuation of our current safe and efficient transportation service model is paramount for our student population and school community for this year and future years to come. We've also been in contact with our current busing contractor, Durham School Services, and we hope and expect to continue our strong 34-year relationship with them, servicing our students and our community. Next, I want to address a little bit of the e-bike situation. We have had an influx of students riding e-bikes to school, which isn't a bad thing. You've also seen more sidewalks getting put in around the community with the safe sidewalks to schools. So hopefully by next year, those sidewalks tie in around all the surrounding areas right to the school district. So more students can walk and then ride their e-bike safely. But regardless, Mr. Henderson has really taken the forefront in this, creating more of like a policy and procedure where they have to now register their bike, they have to adhere to the rules, sign off on it, and if they don't adhere to the rules, then their bike will be taken for the day, and then they could lose their privilege of taking their e-bike to school. And that's really just for their safety and for the safety of the people around them. As we talked about previously, the school board's convention is this week. Please try to attend if you can. Really great workshops and fun events with the vendors. Attendance is our focus for the year. Attendance matters not only for our students but for our staff, so hopefully everybody can come to school each and every day. I do have a club update because I know a lot of the board members ask for updates on this, and this is for September and October. The chess club has returned and is offering for our students with Mr. Goodwin as their advisor. About a dozen students met in the club and it's up and running. They reviewed the rules of chess and expectations for the players. The English club met and discussed Banned Books Week, which was during the 2nd week of October. The Esports Club has been meeting and making plans for the upcoming season. The SAW Club, Students and Woodworking, has been meeting regularly. Students are working on personal interest projects with hand tools, power tools, and the laser engraver. And lastly, the senior class and student government are getting ready for homecoming weekend. They're crowning the king and queen, as Ashley talked about. I have a little update for the community school, which is now being run by Jim Becker and Kim Oshesky. They're having open gym in the high school every Thursday evening between 6 and 8. An art class will start on November the 12th for 4 weeks with watercolors from 4 to 5:30 on Wednesday afternoons. There's a baseball card show December 6th, a holiday craft fair December 13th, and essay prep classes will be coming soon. And then lastly, you may or may not have got an email today with our golf outing, which is April 30th. That is to raise money for Project Graduation. Foursomes are filling up quickly, so if you want to golf in that, please use the QR code and you can register. You can also sponsor a hole for a donation. There's also just a donation that you can give, and then after the outing, we'll have a lunch, and there'll be like a basket raffle to raise some more money, and we're hoping to cover all the costs for Project Graduation. That's all I have.
All right, thank you, Dr. Mercouli. All right, we will move on to item number 5, presentations. Our first presentation is about the garden tour results.
I went to that, it was wonderful. Hottest freaking day of the year. So hot. Yeah.
Oh, you can turn off the music, that's fine.
Figure it out.
And then just pause it at each slide. You don't need to like.
Oh, I see what
play it,
happened
play
there.
it.
So pink and white, yeah.
All right, so I'm here to, I'm actually honored here to give you the results of the garden tour. It was the inaugural garden tour, the first one that we had, and it was on June 29th, 2025. And it was the hottest day almost of the summer, mind you. 100% of these proceeds will benefit students entering any type of education, post-secondary after. 2 4-year degrees, technical schools, certification programs, trade schools, and academies with the possibility, obviously with how much we raise, of new scholarships this year in horticulture or similar interests. The next one is the garden stops. So the first one with the help of Dr. Clark, we hosted where everyone would come and pick up the tickets at the community garden. They were able to buy extra raffle tickets, and then they were able to also tour the garden itself. Then my house was on it, my garden was on it. The Cross family, who I know you guys know, were so involved, and they're here tonight. The Moritz family, the Wilson family, and Trish Horner and Anthony Capone, they are down on South Green Street. That was the poster that Leanne Lacuter made, and then Donnie also printed them for me. Okay, so this was a dream for a couple years, and I finally had the push to go through it. So my dream was to sell 75 tickets for the first garden tour. In reality, I sold 178, and I did comp some tickets for people that donated more than I could even imagine. Theme baskets, my idea was to make 30. I figured 5 or 6 at each garden stop, and I was able to make 106 with the donations from the community, businesses. I was like a memo queen at bathroom duty, so thank you, Mr. Molesky. I will thank you for bathroom duty, because that's when I emailed everybody for prizes. Grant sponsorships, I had a dream of having 5, so 1 at each, and that value was $250 or more, and I was able to get 16. My goal profit was hopefully $3,000, and my proceeds were $9,470. And then in total, we had over 200 donations from the community, individual, business, and local sponsorships. These are some of the grand prize sponsors. We had Chris Fritz, if you know him. He does a lot of bands and solo parties, so he donated a 2-hour private session. Colleen Walker, I have to give her credit. She was the first person I ran this idea to, and she said, I'll be your first grand prize sponsor. She owns Atlantic City North Campground. Donna Wilson, she donated a Blackstone grill, included tools, an apron. Eagles football team donated a signed autograph, and the Caravano family also donated Eagles merchandise. Fantasy Island, Jessica DeFrancia, she donated a fire pit and patio umbrella. Louise West and her sister Susan, they made a homemade garden wagon and filled it with numerous garden tour kind of items. Linda from Champooch, she donated a patio set. Maureen Macaulay, that was a connection through Kelly Ramirez, so I have to give her kudos. She donated a Resorts Atlantic City getaway and dinner. My girlfriend Nadia, she owns 2 houses, one in upstate New York and down here on the water, and she donated a weekend at either house that you could win. And then everyone from Pinelands donated something, and I had like a huge basket, and it had a homecoming ticket, junior prom, senior prom, yearbook, parking spot. I don't even remember everything else, but that was highly loved by many parents. And then the weekend getaway in Lancaster was a hotel stay, restaurants, theater, you name it, ice cream place, whatever you can imagine in Lancaster. They were all the grand prize. So the vendors, my hope was to have one at each garden, but due to space and parking, we kind of modified that, and so whoever had the most space had additional vendors. These are all local, these are alumni, as well as local businesses. So you could purchase items at each garden. I did a self-reflection for many of the people that bought tickets. These are some of just the quotes that I received. I don't know how you can make this any better, because of course I'm always asking for improvements. How can I make things better? The uniqueness of gardens and locations were greatly appreciated. Nice touch with refreshments, seeds, and cuttings. So each really gardener at their home kind of did their own thing. So they did that all on their own. I didn't beg and ask for any of that yet, maybe this year. People said it was just a great community event with friends that they haven't seen in a long time, and they were just able to converse and chat walking around. They loved catching up with friends in town. Somebody did ask to provide a printed map, because not everyone is savvy with technology, so for the older clientele, I will provide a map this year. And then someone did ask God for a cooler day, because if anyone attended, it was really hot. And thank gosh for Wawa, I do need to give kudos to them. They donated, like, I think 300 water bottles and 300 soft pretzels. So I had that stationed at the houses. Okay, my goals for 2026, if approved, of course. I would love to have a food truck stop, someplace where they can just stop and get something quick. I would like to promote the local businesses more and provide coupons for some local establishments, possible online ticket sales, a Christmas present promo, because many of the ticket holders bought actually tickets for their moms for Mother's Day and did that as a present. So I'd like to kind of piggyback off that. Have a plant sale, maybe a newspaper press release, hint, hint, and an acoustic player at a garden. And then we are now accepting donations graciously, business and basket sponsorships available for 2026. If anyone knows anyone that would like to donate, you can call or email me or find me. And then save the date is tentatively right now for Sunday, June 28th, 2026. Oh, I think we missed, can you go back? I think I missed one thank you slide. Nope, go back. I think there's one extra slide. Oh, right here. So I would like to thank, obviously, Pinelands Regional School District for their continued support and all of my ideas. Dr. Clark for running to my rescue many times when I guess I kind of felt a little overwhelmed. Kelly Ramirez for helping me order the signs. Like I said, Colleen Walker, she was the first one who said, yes, I will help and I will be a grand prize sponsor. My friends, staff, and student volunteers. I even had students directing traffic and parking. The ticket holders, I mean, graciously donated a lot of money to this. The community support was fabulous. Hands Garden Center, hands down, no pun intended. They sold tickets for every day. They kept calling me, I need more tickets. Kevin Quinlan made tote bags and mugs just out of just being a friend and let me give them to each host. And then Leanne Lacuter designed and printed out the posters. Donnie Richeski printed out the tickets for me, and it was graduation time and scholarship night, so it was a lit. If you know him, he was already pulling out his hair. Michelle for helping me with the raffle, parking volunteers, and lastly, Michael. My son Michael, does not want to see another basket until 2026 because my house was inundated. Every place you look, there was a basket. So that's all. So thank you for your support.
Well, thank you very much for sharing that update, and what a great event. I think next we're going to hear from the administration for a goals and data review.
Good evening, President Hewitt, Vice President Dalio, board members. Dr. McCooley is going to be helping. We have the leadership team presenting our annual goals and data review. So I'd like to just start, and this is fresh from On-Course today. I looked at the number of our students, how many students in the junior high, how many students in the high school. Our total number is 1512 as of today. Students that are economically disadvantaged, we have 50% in the junior high, which is grades 7 and 8, and 45% in the high school, with a total of 702 economically disadvantaged students in our population. Students with disabilities for the junior high, 28% in those two grade levels, 133 students, and 239 in the high school, 23%, with an average of 25% total. 1 in every 4 students would be in that category. And then our English language learners is a much smaller number. I'd like to present this slide because you can see that there are changing demographics at Pinelands, how many white students we had way back in 16, 17, so it's almost 10 years, and how we are becoming much more diverse, and we are paying attention to different subgroups and how they're doing both in their attendance and also in achievement. I know this question came up last year, how many students go to VO? So we have our numbers here for OCTVS, our MATES number, and ALP, so we're close to 100 students that go to another location each day. And I'm going to hand it over to Ms. Gonzalez for SBYS.
Hi, everybody. So real quick, I just want to give a shout out to Pinelands for always, I feel, being at the forefront for mental health and wellness, and School Base is very honored to be part of the system here. Real quickly, our referrals, and this is only from July 1 through October 14th. At the junior high school, we had 59. At the high school, we had 68. Our unduplicated number of students served, again, this is July 1 through only October 14th. This is through individual or group services. Junior high school has 243, which is 50% of the population, and at the high school, 397, which is 38% of the population at the high school. Our general services number, this is a duplicated number, obviously, with having the 2,505 number, but that's all the services and things that we run through awareness campaigns, parental outreach, and things of that nature. Last and certainly not least, the district-wide initiative for our universal screener through our mental health screening services grant. That number is reflective from the 24-25 school year. The universal screener, we administered 851 universal screeners to our student body, and we were able to identify 201 students, that's 24% of that number, that were in need of additional screening measures. So if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out. Thank you.
All right, so Ms. Molesky and I are up here for the next one, and as you know, attendance is our goal for the year and our focus, amongst other things, but definitely at the forefront. Getting the students to school is paramount, and it has not been easy. Mrs. Molesky and I, since the summer, have looked at previous attendance records and those heavy hitters, even coming from 6th to 7th. We made a list, we reached out to them, we've personally been knocking on doors and visiting houses, getting kids, grab your book bag, get in my truck, you're going to school, and really trying to stress the importance of attendance. She really has been doing a great job with this as well, reaching out to families. She's created contracts, attendance contracts for students that they have to sign with their parents to say that I'm going to be at school, I'm going to be here on time. She's gotten a bunch of incentives for them if they do come on time, short-term and long-term goals, and Mrs. Molesky has gone as far as buying alarm clocks for them, and the good old-fashioned plug it in the wall and set your alarm and get to school on time. Is there anything else you want to add?
And I just want to add that we're looking at also students that are coming in late and leaving early. That's kind of our next level that we're looking at as well. And it just really stressing the importance of being at school. Really, you're going to learn more because you're here and you get the education that you need. So I think that's really important for the community to realize that we're not trying to be the bad guys, but at the same time, it's our law, and we really need to just have our kids in school because we can help them, and we can help a lot with those mental health things as well because they're here and they're on our premises, and we can really pinpoint any of the needs that they need. So thank you for all the support.
I just wanted to chime in. I was at a curriculum meeting on Friday for the county, and I would say over 90% of the schools have a very similar goal in Ocean County of attendance. ELA data.
Hi there, I'm Kelly Green. I'm a supervisor for the English departments, grades 7 through 12. So this is just some general data. We're going to go through each of the grades that we are tested in. We have 2 years of Pinelands, and then the fifth, and last year for Pinelands data, the New Jersey averages, and then the DFG stands for District Factor Group. So these groups, those numbers are those schools that compare to us in terms of demographics and income and those kinds of things. So you can see that our numbers last year were a little better, or not as good as the year before, but we are growing, and we have plans to keep improving these. So that's 7th grade. There's your 8th grade and JSLA, and 9th grade. Then we've broken down, actually, Ms. Frasca broke down our English students into their demographic kind of groups. We wanted to look at both Gen Ed, Special Ed, the Section 504s, our free and reduced lunch kids, and how they're doing against each other over the last few years. So you can see that our Gen Ed students are improving, as are our Special Ed, which tells me that the other groups, either we have some areas where we need to continue to work so that our scores improve for all of those areas. Our focus this year in English, like the district, we are working on a multi-tiered system of support tracking. We have been working to identify or help our teachers identify what tier 1 strategies are useful in the classroom on the daily for kids who are not classified as 504 or as IEP kids, but kids who maybe in this unit need a little extra help, maybe on this skill need a little extra help. Those deficits don't necessarily qualify them for special education services, but they do require some specific strategies geared toward their needs in class that day. One of the things we're doing school-wide is to teach our staff to better track those in-classroom supports that we're providing for our kids. Classroom focus in English in particular is we have looked at the NJSLA and GPA data and found that we are weaker in our informational reading and writing than we are in our fiction work. So we are working to incorporate some more nonfiction pairings into what we're doing in the classroom. We are really working on building stamina and independence. We have, it's been common, especially since COVID, I think, to do a lot of reading in class, a lot of analysis in class, where the teacher is asking questions and guiding students to those answers. What we're trying to do at this point is send those novels home, let your kids read at home, let them do that work there so that then the analysis and the discussion in class can broaden those ideas and focus more on independent thinking and support and evidence for your conclusions that you've made while you're reading, as opposed to being handheld through the novels that we do read and the things that we do read. We've been working as a department to align, better align our assessments and our grading practices with the state standards that were updated in 2023. We want our assessments to inform instruction, not necessarily simply tell us where kids are and then move on to the next thing, but how can then we look at the skills that they should be practicing and using and growing in, and how can we circle back and hit those where they're struggling, like the idea about the informational reading and the texts. So we've been doing a lot of score validation, where the English teachers are looking at the same student writings, scoring them, seeing where we come up, if we're all over the place, and coming to kind of consensus on what those scores should look like. So we're doing a lot of that alignment. Yep, is that all?
Okay, so math data. We are same format as Ms. Green just went over. You have your 3 years of Pinelands data, and then you have our 2025 data in the last column, and comparing it to our DFG district factor group, so the last 2 columns. And Math 7, 241 students took that exam. In Math 8, it kind of shifts a little bit, because Math 8 students are put into 2 different categories. One is Math 8, the other is Algebra 1 for 8th grade students. So 184 students took the Math 8 assessment at the end of the year, and you can see how we compare to our DFG factor group. And that is usually a group of students that are at risk, struggling a little bit, and need a lot more interventions. Moving to junior high Algebra 1, 8th graders taking Algebra 1, you can see that we had a good number of students meeting or exceeding in that area. In Algebra 1, we have 133 students, and we did go down, so we are working really hard in Algebra 1 to see how we can improve those scores. For geometry, we had a little increase, and those are our students in 9th grade geometry, 86 students. Our subgroup data over 3 years, you could see that I'm really proud that our special education students are improving in math, but we are looking at the other subgroups and paying attention to some of the decreases in that area. We are doing a lot of work in the math department right now. We've had 3 PDs already. We had summer PD. We went up to Point Borough High School to engage in some county kinds of articulation with our counterparts. We are looking at assessment data. We're looking specifically at deficiencies through the evidence statements that come from NJSLA. We're looking at building stamina for more rigorous problem solving, where students do problems on their own and also with their peers, and gaps in standards being taught. What are the areas that we need to look at, and what resources do we need to better support our students and our staff? I will say the staff is doing a phenomenal job. They're working very, very hard, but building thinking classrooms is something that we're implementing, where students are standing and they're working together and they're solving very difficult problems together, and these are just some of the strategies for the building thinking classrooms. Science.
Good evening, everybody. So I'm here to speak a little bit about our NJSLA science tests and our data. So every student in 8th grade and 11th grade takes the science NJSLA assessment. This chart shows you level 1, 2, 3, and 4, and level 1 is less proficient, and level 4 is most proficient. What's interesting about this assessment as compared to the math and the ELA assessment is that our 8th grade students are tested on all of the standards for 6th, 7th, and 8th grade, and our 11th grade students are tested on life science, physical science, and earth science, regardless of the science classes that they've had. I do want to note that if you add up, for those of you who know me, I do a lot with numbers and I try to be meticulous. If you add up all the 8th grade scores, it actually goes to more than 100%. It's 100.1%, but that is what the report that we got from the state said. So we had 100.1% of students taking it in that area. The other interesting thing about the NJSLA test, science focus versus the math and ELA, is that we do not receive evidence tables. So what we are focusing on in science is good test taking skills, how to read graphs, the science vocabulary and the academic vocabulary that the students are reading, because we do not get feedback as to the specific areas in which we need to focus. So as you can see, for the most part, in 3 out of our 4 subgroups that we're looking at, we are seeing slight increases. As I spoke about last year in the spring when I presented, one of the things that we're doing in science is doing more with hands-on learning. In our junior high, it's in the garden, and at the high school, it's outside in our bogs, which we're considering our outdoor classroom, with the goal of helping students to learn through hands-on learning, through that experiential learning. The Access for ELS test, that's Access for English Language Learners, is an assessment that all of our multilingual learners have to take if they're identified as being a multilingual learner in the school. The Access for ELS exam measures their English language proficiency in various categories: speaking, reading, listening, and writing. And students are scored on a rubric, 1 being entering, so less proficient, 6 being most proficient. Any student who scores a 4.5 or higher, that score puts them in an area where we will use multiple measures to determine if they are ready to exit the English as a second language program. To the left, you see our ESL enrollment trends. Over the past almost 15 years, you can see that the number of students in our ESL program has grown slightly. This is a very migratory population of students that we have, so the numbers do fluctuate, and not just from year to year, but they can fluctuate drastically throughout the school year as well. So right now we have 19 students, but sometimes that will drop to 12 within a school year and then go back up to 20. I am always happy to talk about our academies. So at the high school, we have 2 different academies. We have our Humanities and Law Academy, which houses 31 students, and our Biomedical Academy that has 31 students as well. And in those academies, basically students are signing up to take additional coursework in those particular areas so that when they go to college, they have more of a focus and a better background leaving high school and going into their area of focus. So one of the wonderful programs that we are able to offer, and I know this was already spoken about, is our Southern Ocean Medical Explorers program, and that's where we are partnering with Southern Ocean Medical Center, which is the hospital in Manahawkin, where our students are getting the opportunity to go behind the scenes, work with doctors from all different areas in the hospital to explore, to see, to learn, to see, and to determine if this is an area that they would be interested in going into. The pictures that you see here are from the last Medical Explorers meeting, which was the Stop the Bleed, and those are students and Miss Yost, who is in charge of our Medical Academy, one of our new clubs. And all of the students that you see represented there, those are all Pinelands students. So last year we had a handful, and this year a lot of our students are just engaging in this wonderful opportunity to go behind the scenes at the hospital. So some upcoming dates that we have there are the CPR, which is November 13th, and nutrition, the 11th. So wonderful things happening, and we're excited to see where this partnership takes us.
Okay, a quick update on our dual enrollment. At Stockton, we have 6 classes this year for dual enrollment, and you can look at this slide when we sent this presentation out. And at OCC, we actually have 24. So we are up to 30 dual enrollment courses. I believe we added 3 or 4. So I feel that we are doing a pretty good job leading the county. We actually have our OCC representative is a parent of one of our students, so we really exploded with our OCC courses this summer when we were planning. These are all of our courses for each of the content areas. Mrs. Green?
All right, our AP program is continuing to grow and thrive. This year we have 205 students taking a total of 459 tests. That means some kids are taking one and some kids are taking 4 or 5 apiece. The really great news here is that at the end of the school year last year, we told students that we did not have the funds to pay for the exams, which we had been doing. I'm happy to thank the board and our administrative team for figuring out how to make that happen. So we are once again paying for all the exams, which is fabulous. And then these are our five-year numbers. The one on the left is the percentage of students with scores 3 or above. So last year's number is 62%. The year before that is 63%. So really right on par. And then our school summary over the last few years, the number of exams, the number of kids, and the number of scores at 3 or 3 and above. So we're really proud of this AP program. And in December, we will announce our AP Scholars and invite those students in to get recognized.
Last but not least, Mrs. Kenny.
Good evening, everyone. Back in 2018, Dr. McCooley contacted the State Department and was really interested in having an ROTC program at Pinelands. And it was definitely a lot of hurdles to get through and almost impossible because it really relied on the number of students and how many students you had to have in a program, as well as funding these instructors, if you're familiar with ROTC. The pandemic hit and she did not give up, and then she talked to Southern Regional and we made a partnership with them. So we are now in the infant stage of doing our ROTC in a partnership with them, where we have our students go to Southern Regional every day and they participate in the Southern Regional ROTC program. So we're really excited about this because, as with anything, it's going to take a few years to grow, but it's really been a successful program. And last year we had our first senior graduate that did the 2 years straight, and he also did his basic skills training the past 2 summers, so he actually graduated with a rank before he headed off to school with an ROTC scholarship. So it's really been exciting to watch. And if you remember, we talk a lot about the JAG program, the Jobs for American Graduates, and it was really the same idea, where let's bring a program to our school and we're going to build it. And as you know, it's award-winning right now, our JAG program, and I anticipate our ROTC to be the same. So if you have any questions about any of the things that we presented tonight, please reach out, and as always, thank you.
Thank you to the administration team for that presentation. It's great to hear about all of the really wonderful things that are going on in the district. All right, at this time, we're going to, pardon me, we're going to move to item number 6, which is our work session, board forum. Does anyone have anything for board forum?
Yeah, I have something I'd like to give an update. Let me get the mic a little closer here. On the ad hoc extracurricular activities committee that was formed over the summer. We had a meeting in August with some board members to try to talk about what we'd like to do with this, and then we had another meeting in September. We had 21 people in attendance, a good mix of staff, students, and community members. We had a few talking points to begin the meeting to get the discussion going. One of the talking points was our focus that we'd like to include ensuring fairness, equity, and compliance with regulations, identifying areas for program improvement, and suggesting strategies to enhance student development, facilities, and overall effectiveness. Supporting the well-being and success of students by advocating for policies that strengthen their academic, physical, and mental health, and also encouraging community engagement to foster positive relationships between our programs and the broader community. And as a committee, we're hopeful to develop strategies for increasing participation, establish clear guidelines for student behavior and conduct, identify and address issues related to facilities and equipment, and collaborate with administration to ensure extracurricular activities effectively meet the needs of our student body. The primary role of the committee is to offer insight, make suggestions, and help the Board of Education make informed decisions regarding extracurricular activities. And again, it's an ad hoc advisory committee. Some of the suggestions that came out of the meeting on the 22nd were to take a hard look at when the senior trip is scheduled. A tough issue, but still to take a look at that. To think about forming, we have a garden club now at the junior high, to think about trying to get one started at the high school, to look at strategies of educating students about our extracurriculars so that students can get involved, finding activities for students who aren't involved. If you're invested in the school environment, it gives you another reason to come to school, and so we'd like to make sure that we're meeting the needs of all the students. One of the emphasis that was recommended was trying to get our high school and junior high teams, athletic teams, involved with the community athletics so that the number of children who are involved in recreation level sports, they progress into the junior high and high school and stay with the sports. Another good suggestion was scheduling school activities throughout the day, maybe not just at the end of the day, maybe at the beginning of the day, during lunch periods, those types of things, to have meetings so that students could attend those meetings during the day. And then again, the better advertising of the scheduled activities so students know what's going on. Incentives for joining clubs. And for high school students to reach out to younger students to encourage participation. And we had somebody strongly suggest we come up with a rugby intramural teams, which I thought was a great idea. So a lot of great ideas that came out. We plan on meeting again soon, and hopefully we'll get even more student participation, and we'll be able to put some of these suggestions into practice. Just a quick update for anybody that follows the girls soccer team. They're at halftime right now, waiting for nothing. And hopefully Katie has scored a couple goals. So that's all I got.
All right, thank you, Betty Ann. I was able to attend the SALT committee meeting back towards the end of September, and the focus of the meeting, they did a debrief about midterms and finals from last year as they were re-implemented. Much of the discussion in the meeting talked about cell phone usage in schools, and the staff has been working through the book, The Anxious Generation, and a lot of good information in that, and really are looking to see what the school can do to help our students in those areas, and really help allow the students to focus on the education that they have in front of them, and not be trapped in the digital world. So it was a very good discussion. The SALT committee is made up, Dr. Clark led that meeting, and there were several teachers, administrators, and students present, and looking forward to the next meeting. Anybody else have anything for board forum? All right. Anybody have anything for new business? Old business?
There you go. Just an update on when do you think you'll have the board self-evaluation? When would you like that done again? We addressed it at one point. I'm not exactly sure when we did that, but that was a topic.
We did, yes, that's right. The idea of a board self-evaluation came up. I reached out to NJSBA, and I need to get that information out to the board.
Okay.
So that will be forthcoming. And that's something you work through on your own, evaluating our board's practices. Thank you.
You're welcome.
And I'm not sure if we discussed this in the last meeting or it happened since the last meeting, but the tree was planted in front of the board office, and it's I want to say it's a weeping cherry tree. So, thank you guys. If you have not contributed towards that yet, please make sure you see Amanda about that.
Or she'll see you.
Anybody else have anything for old business? All right, we'll move on to item number 7, Residents Forum, agenda items only. Board policy number 0167 encourages community participation in every meeting. However, the board requests that the public respect the 3-minute time limit when commenting on agenda items. Have anybody for Residents Forum? All right, seeing that there are none, we'll move on to item number 8, personnel. A motion to approve the following personnel items A through Q. May I have a motion?
Second.
May I have a second? Any questions or discussion? All right, seeing that there are no questions or discussion, we'll move to a voice vote. Roll call, sorry.
Miss Betty?
Yes.
Mr. Bonnicky?
Yes.
Miss Crystal Martin?
Yes.
Miss Patty Martin?
Yes.
Mrs. McVeigh?
Yes.
Mr. Vaux? Yes. Mr. Dalio?
Yes.
Mr. Hewitt?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Item number 9, instructional. Recommend the motion to approve instructional items A through D. May I have a motion?
Motion.
Second? Are there any questions? All right, seeing that there are no questions, we'll move to a roll call vote.
Miss Betty?
Yes.
Mr. Bonnicky?
Yes.
Miss Crystal Martin?
Yes.
Miss Patty Martin?
Yes.
Mrs. McVeigh?
Yes.
Mr. Vaux? Yes. Mr. Dalio?
Yes.
Mr. Hewitt?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Item number 10, that's right, there are no item HIBs for item number 10 for this month. We'll move on to item number 11, policies and procedures. Recommend motion to approve policies and procedures item A. May I have a motion?
Motion.
May I have a second?
Second.
Are there any questions? Seeing that there are no questions, we'll move to a roll call vote.
Miss Betty?
Yes.
Mr. Bonnicky?
Yes.
Miss Crystal Martin?
Yes.
Miss Patty Martin?
Yes.
Mrs. McVeigh?
Yes.
Mr. Vaux?
Yes.
Mr. Dalio?
Yes.
Mr. Hewitt?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Item number 12, operations. Recommend motion to approve operations items A through H. May I have a motion?
Motion.
May I have a second? Are there any questions? All right, seeing that there are no questions, we'll move to a roll call vote.
Miss Betty?
Yes.
Mr. Bonnicky?
Yes.
Miss Crystal Martin?
Yes.
Miss Patty Martin?
Yes.
Mrs. McVeigh?
Yes.
Mr. Vaux? Yes. Mr. Dalio?
Yes.
Mr. Hewitt?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Item number 13, report of Board Secretary Business Administrator. Recommend motion to approve the report of the Board Secretary Business Administrator, items A through M. May I have a motion?
Motion.
Second.
Are there any questions? All right, seeing that there are no questions, we'll move to a roll call vote.
Miss Betty?
Yes.
Mr. Bonnicky?
Yes.
Miss Crystal Martin?
Yes.
Miss Patty Martin?
Yes.
Mrs. McVeigh?
Yes.
Mr. Vaux? Yes. Mr. Dalio?
Yes.
Mr. Hewitt?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Item number 14 contains informational items about our monthly attendance, discipline reports, and security drill. We will move on to item number 15, Residents Forum, general topic. Board policy number 0167 encourages community participation in every meeting. However, the board requests that the public respect the 3-minute time limit when commenting on any topic. Good evening.
No.
Oh, there you are.
There it goes. Rick Miller, up to sandpaper. First of all, when you were talking salt, what the hell does SALT committee mean? I've asked people and nobody seemed to know. An achievement leadership team.
Student achievement leadership team.
Okay, that's quick enough. Who came up with the idea of working with SOCH? I don't call it SOMSI. You know, everybody around here still calls it SOCH.
You have a microphone, Gina, though? Could you want to maybe come over here by the table so they can hear at home, too? It should be.
Hello?
Hello.
So actually, my own doctor, wanted to do something for our students because she works in our town and said, your students are amazing, I want to help them, and we're going to do this program that they do in other counties. Apparently other counties have had this for years, so I believe she lives in Monmouth County, but she wanted to bring it down to Ocean County. And so it's open to any student in Ocean County, actually. And we were very well represented with all of our Pinelands students, and you know, Ms. Yost really promoting it for them. But really, that's how it started. It was just a conversation we had, and you know, it just started to roll forward. Last year we did a couple different events and it started to gain a little bit of momentum, but this year we started out right from the September experience. And then, you know, they do have to pay a little fee to be part of it, just to kind of get them vested into it. It's less than $50. But the kids are really excited about it, and with our Biomed Academy, it's something that they really could get some experience with. So,
well,
that's how it's.
I have to say that your doctor and I have a lot in common. Great brains think alike. I was watching an old TV show, Emergency. It was in the early 70s, and it was about doctors and EMTs, etc. And they had candy stripers on it. Now, candy stripers, if you remember, were volunteers at hospitals. They used to wear these red and white uniforms. They got rid of the uniforms a long time ago, but there's not that many kids volunteering at hospitals now. It's usually older people. And I was thinking, being so we have these learning academies, we'll get that start with the club. I think it would be wonderful if we could develop a third academy towards nursing, because both OCC and Stockton offer nursing programs. And boy, if they could get a year done in nursing before they left for college, it would be really great. And we have a big need for nurses. And I think that would be very attractive. So I'm glad great brains think alike.
Well, thank.
Oh, and one last thing.
That's great.
All right.
I feel like Columbo. One more thing. Are you aware that the state is either at the current time paying, or at least introduced legislation to pay for schools that have the strictest cell phone policies?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Miller.
Good evening.
Hello.
My name is Steve Edelstein, and I'm the lawyer representing Dr. McCooley and Dr. Frasca in connection with issues that I'll discuss with you in a moment. By the way, they didn't call them candy stripers, but I volunteered at Presbyterian Hospital in Newark when I was a kid. And the best thing about it was that they let you have free lunch in the cafeteria. But you could see me eating lunch. Falsely accusing Dr. McCooley of misusing district funds. Falsely accusing Dr. McCooley of illegal actions. Falsely accusing Dr. McCooley and Dr. Frasca of misusing board legal counsel for their own personal benefit. Falsely accusing Dr. McCooley and Dr. Frasca of lies and harassment and defamation. Falsely accusing Dr. McCooley of submitting forged insurance documents, and posing a question in the public press: why does the Pinelands School Board still employ the current superintendent? So these are just a few of Stephanie Johnson's greatest hits. And they are unacceptable, and I think you all know that they are unacceptable. And I've represented a lot of school boards over the years, probably more than 100 in the aggregate. And every now and again, you find an outlier, like Mrs. Johnson, who just destroys the culture for the entire board. And I know that everybody else on this board is fighting very hard to avoid being dragged down along with the comments that I have just described. And there are things that you can do and there are things that you can't do. I'm sure Mr. Donio has explained to you, because you've probably asked, that a local Board of Education has no ability at all to remove a member from the board. They're no longer even allowed to publicly censure a member. Only the School Ethics Commission can do that. But there are things that can be done. The gavel can be wielded in such a way to curtail comments, and I know that that happens here. Other board members can, I'll use the word casually, police the meetings to make sure that things that are said appropriately. And I've listened to enough of the meetings online to know that Mr. Donio does his best to keep things in line, but it's not easy. If somebody is determined to break the rules, they'll break the rules. And while you may not be able to do a lot about this, I'm not in the same boat. There are things that I can do and will do. Let me explain how the process works so you know what's coming next. Almost 6 months ago, Dr. McCooley and Dr. Frasca filed tort claim notices against Mrs. Johnson, alleging a whole host of improprieties and actionable items, some of which I just read to you. The law is that once one of those tort claim notices is filed, you can't start a lawsuit for 6 months. Well, the 6 months is just about up. So let me remove the mystery, if there is any, and tell you that at the beginning of November, we will file a lawsuit against Mrs. Johnson. I'm sorry for all of you that that has to happen. I know it's not something you want or condone, but it is something that needs to happen for the integrity and peace of mind of your superintendent and your assistant superintendent. And in order to finally hold Mrs. Johnson accountable for what I can only describe as reckless conduct. And I've seen plenty of reckless conduct. I grew up in Essex County. I've seen a lot of reckless conduct, but rarely conduct as reckless as this, or as thoughtless as this. And we intend to hold her accountable. It remains to be seen whether some or all of those claims will be claims that the board is required to indemnify her for. That's not my decision. I can probably influence that somewhat by the way in which we word the claims that we assert, but I would be thinking that we will probably assert a robust variety of claims and join this issue as soon as we possibly can. So I encourage you all to do the good work that you can do. Feel lucky that you have such a good superintendent and assistant superintendent, and I'm not just saying this casually, board lawyer, because I know that he is a good lawyer. And when the other shoe drops, which it will soon, it's not dropping on you, it's dropping on her. Unfortunately, you may have to deal with it, but I wanted you to understand the context. Thanks.
Thank you, Mr. Edelstein.
You're welcome.
Dave, if I could just very briefly, obviously, we're not going to have any type of public comment about this to the extent that this is going to be anticipated litigation. I've known Mr. Edelstein for a number of years. I appreciate the manner by which you set it forth, but it's really, we'll see what you serve, and then you know, we'll have to have a conversation as a board, and it's unfortunate that we are at this crossroads.
If anyone else for Residents Forum?
So I did forget to ask, does anyone have any questions about the garden tour? I don't know why I'm so nervous. I've known most of you almost all my life. But does anyone have any questions, comments?
I
No?
think it's wonderful what you did.
Thank you.
I'm wondering, because I know you mentioned some of the homes on the tour. Native plants, was that discussed, or is that
Everything.
something?
Yes,
Okay.
we'll take any garden that wants to be on the tour. I already have 6 for next year already, but we're always looking for more.
That's awesome.
Thank you. Okay, thank you.
I have a quick comment because plenty loud enough, woke myself up. I had a pleasure of going on the garden tour, and it was hot, so a cooler day would be appreciated. But what a wonderful time, and what an amazing job Jennifer Edmichael did. But what an amazing job she did. First time out of the chutes, so well organized. You know, sometimes you get involved in these things and you're halfway through it and you're like, what the heck was I thinking? And even though it was every bit of 100 degrees and 100% humidity, it was still a pleasure and a great event. So if there are tickets available for Christmas, Mother's Day, please think about buying them for your loved ones. It is a great event. I can only imagine that next year will be that much better. Thank you.
All right. We will move into item 16, Board Forum, and we'll give a chance for board members to speak. We'll start with Mr. Vaux.
I don't have anything this time.
All right. Ms. Crystal Martin.
Nothing at this time.
Mr. Bonnicky.
It's contagious.
Wow. All right. Ms. Slinchak. Miss Betty.
I gotta say, just go football and go volleyball. They're killing it, so that's all I got.
All right. Miss Patty Martin.
Yes, to all the new clubs and the students participating in them, good luck. You are, in some instances, I guess the first time, the inaugural chess club. Did we ever have that before? And
No,
so
it's a
Go
new one.
chess club.
Yeah,
right?
it's a new one.
just starting out with it, you know, congratulations. Have a great time, and to the community, businesses, individuals. Just continued thanks for all that you donate to the scholarships for the students.
All right. Thank you. Mrs. McVeigh.
Yeah, I got a couple things. I want to thank the administration staff that come to the meetings. It's always So nice to see you there. And it's even nicer when I'm out and about in the community, fall festival, athletic events, whatever the case may be, and you'll always see representatives from the administration and the staff there participating, being involved. Mr. Henderson was at the fall festival. What a great event. Kudos to everybody that was involved in making that happen. And my usual public service announcement this time of the year, days are getting shorter. We still have kids out on e-bikes riding the streets, kids at practice, kids playing in the parks, running around near roads. Keep your eye out for everybody out and about as the days get shorter and the nights come sooner. Thank you.
All right. Mr. Dalio.
Thank you, Mr. President. What, did you say your ad hoc committee that there was rugby you were talking about?
They would like, there were some people there who would like for us to consider almost like an intramural, in-house rugby team.
Do you know anything about, like, in the county or the state, like how?
The discussion came up that day, and I think there was one they said, and there's one in Galloway, that they do some type of league down there. Yeah.
If I could also offer at the 2024 eighth grade synopsis that we had, not this past year, not 25, but 2024, that was pretty much the #1 suggestion of a lot of the eighth graders. Could they pursue that in high school, even as a club?
Oh, that's
Of
awesome.
the
I mean,
different, all
rugby
the
is-
different high schools in the region that participated.
That's good to hear. I mean, rugby is really an amazing sport. I mean, I just love watching it. It's not easy. It's very, very physical.
Weightlifting too. They wanted
Really?
a
Oh, that too?
weightlifting club. The
It's
eighth
another, it's
graders.
another great thing. Yeah, I just wanted to add one thing that, I'll be real quick about it. Our local elections are coming back up again. There are 3 board seats here that are open, and we have 3 board members, or three people that are running for these seats unopposed. So it's a little disheartening for me, being a long-standing board member. I've had so many years of meeting some amazing people and people that from the community who wanted to put their best effort forward and work with same like-minded people, and all for the benefit of the students of the district. When I don't see too many people putting their name out there to at least run and be part of the solution instead of being part of the problem. It's disheartening that only 3 people ran for 3 seats. I would hope to see more people show an interest in their schools. And I mean, it comes from the community. People make a village raises a kid. I believe in that. Having a voice and being able to speak your voice in a public square like this is very important to the academics of all our students. So maybe next year more people will run. I'd like to see some people from the senior communities come out and run for a seat. I think there's 1 seat on Little Lake Harbor next year. I think that more people that come out and just be part of it. I think that'd be a good thing. That's all I have. Thank you.
All right. We'd just like to say thank you to the administration, teachers, and support staff for just making a great start to the school year. You guys put in so much hard work, and it doesn't go unnoticed. We see it, and we appreciate it. It's great to see our athletic teams out there competing and doing well, seeing the student involvement there, the new clubs that have been started and the ones that are continuing, just other great opportunities for our students to get involved. And to have contact with adults who care about their well-being and their future, and I think that's a tremendous thing. Congratulations to the staff that put together the Pinelands experience. Heard so many great things about that activity, and even got a bag of really wet, muddy laundry as a result of it. But what a great opportunity for our kids to get out and see where they live and bond with their classmates and their teachers as well. So, that being said, I have a motion to adjourn.
Motion.
Second. All right, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Meeting is adjourned.